Trials and Tribulations of Soviet Television Ownership. Dateline from the Problems of Communism newsletter, November 1963. So let's read this. This is fun. Now, this are actually literally they're taking this from a Soviet newspaper. This is from an article by V. Matviev, Television Service Problems, in some Moscow Gazette in 1962 October. Trials and Tribulations of Soviet TV Owners. This is literally copied and pasted from a Soviet newspaper. It is difficult and not very pleasant to return to what has been once, or more than once, printed in a newspaper article. But what can you do when the circumstances demand that you pick up your pen again? Certain correspondence appeared in number 28 of our weekly. It was entitled From a Factory Conveyor for an Overhaul, and dealt with the television sets, those elegantly finished, exciting devices equipped with levers, keys, and panel boards, which entered our lives as an indispensable and precious means of culture and human contact. However, we are also told of the trials and tribulations that befell those who own these means of spiritual culture. Not all were fortunate enough not to know the road to the first aid station, i.e., the television repair shop. Many, in fact millions of owners of these expensive gadgets are compelled to get out the overhaul warranty almost on the very first day, and then schedule their spare time between regular trips to the repair shop of the Moscow Television Trust and consolation talks in their family. A friendly and moderate criticism was voiced, advices given, and proposals advanced. Finally, the first letter was received by the editors, then a second, then a third, and now we have a pile of responses and replies from readers who hold receipts issued by repair mechanics. After the article was published, we had a visitor, an elderly, quiet man, lawyer Comrade Benison. He left the following communication, which in our opinion deserves particular attention on the part of the Ministry of Communications and the Television Trust. On September 20th, 1961, television comrade Osipov, Repair Shop 24, repaired my television set. And in April 1962, my room was filled with smoke. Technician comrade Zalkind responded to my call and discovered in the set a do-it-yourself safety device, which it appeared was responsible for burning out the power transformer, causing the picture tube to cease functioning. In response to my complaint to the Ministry of Communications requesting that the overhaul be performed at the expense of the repair shop, which installed the safety devices, I received a letter on July 9th from the Television Trust asserting that the bug was made and installed by myself. So remember, this is April to July. This is nonsense, as I know nothing about the inside of a TV set and never opened it. It is difficult for me to understand why I cannot get any protection of my rights from the Ministry of Communications. Instead, I'm accused of a swindle. Perhaps this is not enough, so let us turn to another letter. This author is Lev Butin. He is an ordinary Moscovite and a TV set owner. I had to call a technician from the repair shop on something street 4 times. A technician, sometimes 2, would come, do something, take 2 or 3 rubles, and depart. The television set still didn't work. The last time they said that the picture tube had to be checked, they took out the block and left it on the table. The next day, I took time off from my work, spent 2 hours in bringing the mechanism to the atelier, and 3 days later went back to pick it up. They refused to take into account the amounts paid by me for previous overhauls and would not even check the records. The following day, a technician arrived, put in the picture tube, and changed another tube. 2 days later, a tube burned out, and there was again no picture. The cycle is now apparently complete. The set will have to be taken to the atelier all over again, which will probably cost another 10 rubles. The optimism of the Ministry of Communications will disappear completely if we acquaint our readers with yet another letter sent by Comrade Prikhotnikov, who lives in Krasnopensky Rayon. He is disappointed with attempt 6 that he owns. The plant and the TV repair shop workers run from him like the devil from frankincense. I called a mechanic from a repair shop. He came, dusted the inside of the set, installed one of my own safety devices, soldered a contact, and calculated his own fee at 2 rubles. 1 week later, the set was out of order again. Such are some of the cases, and if there are millions of such cases, then they must reflect the real situation which the Ministry of Communications refuses to recognize. That's what we're going to deal with when it comes to single payer, my friends. You heard it here first. Prepare. I'm going to put a link into a show notes about the article on this. This was part of television in the USSR to show you the propaganda, and this will be on my Rumble channel, which you should subscribe to. It's freaking nuts, man. All right, we'll see you.